All right, Lexi, the first workout that we are going to be doing is, so typically I send out 2 workouts per week depending on what my clients are asking for. Sometimes we'll go to 3, so an A, a B, and a C. Most of my clients who are just starting out, doing 3 different workouts in a week is a little daunting. So I just start them out with an A and a B, kind of alternating days. Maybe we'll do some yoga on the day in between, something like that, just to kind of stretch them out a little bit. But today I'm just gonna take you through one, obviously, sample workout. And it is 2 giant supersets like I explained in the last video. That was the actual program that we will be going over. First off, the first group, the A group, all 4 exercises are going to be very, very core focused. They're going to center around our core. They're not necessarily going to be, they're not going to be anything just where you're doing crunches and sit-ups and all that nonsense, because that stuff sucks. We're going to be doing some legit core work. So we are going to be lighting your abs on fire. Your lower back's going to be into it because, hey, the lower back is a muscle. So if you get a little sore off it, you like the good sore. We're going to get you the good sore, not the bad sore. I'm going to teach you how to protect your back at all costs, especially when we're doing things like planks and other push-up position type things. So we're going to go through all 4 exercises that are going to annihilate our core. Then after we get through 4 rounds of that, we're going to jump down to the B group and we're going to get a lot more metabolic. So the B group is going to not only gonna burn some extra calories, which, hey, who doesn't want to do that? I know your number 1 goal is not weight loss. You want to tone up. You want to get a little shapely muscle to you. You're looking for that aesthetic type of look. The bikini body, if you will, as summer is approaching. But we do want to start off with some metabolic stuff. We want to challenge that respiratory system, because once we get into a little more strength-based stuff, we want to make sure that not only your muscles have the endurance to handle the program, but your respiratory system, your cardiovascular can keep up with exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to test you a little bit today as far as that goes. So you're going to do a core shredder, and then when all the blood flows in your core and your core is just on fire, we're going to move right into metabolic, and it's going to pull away some of that blood flow from the core section into the rest of our body. And that is how we are going to make sure that all of those metabolic, those full body exercises that we're doing in B are we're gonna do it with the protection of a super tight core, because we already prepped it back in group A. So with no further ado, here we go. First one we're gonna do is we're gonna get in a plank position and we're gonna do some step outs. I'm gonna show you how to get in this perfect plank position, and then I'm gonna show you the step out patterns. I'm also gonna tell you what to watch for when you are in a plank position. A lot of people, when they're in that plank and their abs just aren't necessarily up to the task of holding them for so long, they tend to, their hips and their butt tend to droop a little bit, and they tend to get that dip in their lower back. And that's where all that back pain comes from. So I'm going to tell you what, I would rather you stick your butt up in the air a little bit versus having it dip down. So if you need to give yourself a little bit of a reprieve, a little bit of a breather, you can either stop and kind of shake yourselves out a little bit, or you stick your butt up in the air a little bit and take a little pressure off your abs while you're doing it. So this is what I'm talking about. Plank position, right here. See how I'm nice and level? Now, I want you to watch out for this. I feel this in my lower back already. It feels like a big stretch in my lower back, and it does not feel good because I'm dipping low, all right? So if you feel your abs are starting to give out a little bit, I would rather have you widen your feet and stick your butt up in the air a little bit. Yes, that does take a little pressure off your abs, so you're not getting a full ab workout, but at the same time, you're protecting your lower back. So you're staying injury free. And hey, I would much rather you get only 90% of the benefits and be injury free versus getting 20% of the benefits and still get an injury, excuse me. Sounds pretty like a no-brainer. So, plank position, you're on your elbows, your hands are tucked up under your chin almost, and we're just nice and level. The wider my feet are, the more stable it's going to be. I'm going to turn this way because what we are doing is we are doing plank step outs. And you're going to do 15 each, 15 on each side. So I'm in a plank position, and then I'm going to just step my foot out. The wider I step my foot out, the more activation on my core I'm going to get. So, plank position, I'm just going to step out, nice and controlled speed. I'm not going super fast and bouncing around. I want to keep it controlled because that's going to keep my abs super tight. And there we go. If you have a band at your house, like one of those little bands that kind of go around your legs, I have one here. Oh, sorry, bear with me a sec. If you have one of these and you want to put it around your calves, kind of like mid-calf, during your step outs, it'll give you a little more core activation, plus get a little booty on there as well, get a little butt building in there, and hey, the more muscles we can work at once, the better, right? So, just watch out for that back starting to dip down. If your back starts to dip down a little bit, give yourself a little rest. Let's say you only get 7. Let's say you get 8 on each side, and you just can't seem to get all the way to 15 without that back going out on you a little bit. That's perfectly fine. You can come up to your knees, give yourself a little breather, about 20, 30 seconds, and then get back down and finish out your 15. Just make sure you get all 15 on each side before you move on to A2. A froggy crunch. I know I told you earlier crunches suck, and you know what? They do. This is called a crunch because of the way it looks, but it is not. You're actually sliding in the body. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So we want to get in that froggy position, which is you got the soles of your feet together. You're going to lay down. Now I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to put my hands flat against my legs. And what I'm going to do is the only thing I'm going to concentrate here on is I'm going to concentrate on taking my hands and sliding them forward so my fingertips get past my knees, but they stay on my legs the entire time. So I slide forward, up, right there. I feel that contraction in my core, but you notice that my back's still straight. I didn't round my neck or anything like that. And then I'm going to lower it nice and slow to the ground. So I'm going to go up, slide forward, feel that pinch. I'm going to hold it for about 1 second. And then I'm going to slowly let myself go back to the ground. Again, you want to do things not necessarily super slow, but you want to do them under control because that's going to keep that tension in the core. You don't want to do it really fast because then your core just loses all that tension. You're doing all that hard work for nothing. A3 is going to be a pup push-up position, P-U-P, push-up position, toe tap. Now, if you can get in your push-up position on the floor, great. If not, I'm going to show you how to kind of take a little bit of pressure off as well. So first things first, get in push-up position. Wider stance is going to give you more stability. And now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and touch my right foot as I come forward with my left hand. So touch, then I'm going to go back to push-up position, nice flat back. I'm going to touch my other side. Touch, touch. See how I'm not going super fast, but I am going under control. Now, if holding yourself in push-up position for 10 on each side seems like a long time to hold yourself there, and you want to take a little pressure off, find yourself an elevated surface. I got myself a little aerobic box here, and you put your hands on that, and that's going to be, now I'm holding myself, but since I'm at that higher angle, I'm not necessarily holding as much of my weight. The higher the surface you have your hands on, the lighter it's going to be. So make sure that if you need to start it off with your hands up high, that's perfectly fine. Just get the hang of it so you can come back later and challenge yourself a little more by putting your hands a little lower until you get to a hollow body scissors kick sounds really complicated. Hollow body is the name of a position. And all the position is we're resting on our tailbone, and you're gonna pick your heels up. See, and this is a hollow body. It's called hollow because it's almost like there's nothing in there. There's nothing holding you up. So my body is completely off the ground except for that one little spot on my tailbone. And then I'm just gonna kick my feet. You don't have to have your hands up, by the way. See how they're tiny little kicks? I'm not going super high. I even have a bend in my knee to help me out a little bit. You're gonna go to 20 on each side. Again, I'm under control. If you go too fast, it becomes more of a hip exercise and you'll probably lose balance. So stay under control, try and hold that position, 20 of them. All right, we're done with the A group. We are on to the B group, which is the metabolic portion of the work. So B1 is called a touchdown squat, TD squat, if you're looking at the program. Touchdown squats are gonna be relatively simple, not easy, just simple, as in they don't have a lot of steps. Start with your feet together. I'm gonna take a little hop out wide, so I'm gonna take a little jump out wide. I'm gonna go down. As soon as I land, you see, as soon as I landed, I started to go down. Now, you don't have to touch the ground. If you can, great. If not, if touching the ground is gonna make you round your back, don't do it. So you go down to about just below your knees, maybe your shins. You aim at your shins. When you get down here, you see how my position is? See my back? It's super straight because my chest is puffed up and I'm sticking my butt out. When I went down, I just stick my butt out, get down to that position, and then I'm going to, in one smooth motion, I'm gonna bounce so my feet get back together. That's one. So I'm going down, back together. You don't have to spin around. I just like showing you what I'm doing. If you want to add a little bit more resistance to that, I know you have some of those weights, some of those smaller dumbbells. Go ahead and grab yourself one, maybe two of those, and you just hold them in your hands. And you're gonna add a little bit. Now we're adding a little bit of weight. Give our muscles a little more work in there. So the only muscles we're not working is our heart. We're working all of our other muscles as well. It's a great one. It's one of my favorite ones. Gets the heart rate up super high. You're going to 20. Again, high number. If you can't get 20 right away, if you get like 12 or 13, you need to take a break, kind of shake those legs out. That's fine. Just 20-second break, 30 maybe, and then get those last 7, but just get 20 before you move it on down to B2. In B2, we are back in push-up position, although this time I'm actually going to ask you to do push-ups. I'm going to ask you to do push-ups with a twist. We're going to do a push-up, but then we're going to tap our shoulders when we do them. So you tap each side, each shoulder both times. My right hand's going to tap my left hand's going to tap my right. Now, push-ups on the ground, great. If you can do push-ups on the ground, I'm super happy for you. If you can't do them super well right now while keeping a nice straight body, don't even try them. There's one other way. Get yourself an elevated surface. I will say this, and this is the only time I'm going to be negative. No knee push-ups. It's not a real thing. It's not a real exercise. It is almost as crappy as a sit-up. Knee push-ups do not exist. Remember, we are all about body mechanics, moving the way that the body is supposed to move. The body wants to have everything involved. It wants to be nice and straight. It doesn't need to be on your knees pushing up. So instead of a knee push-up, if you need to do them, if you can do regular push-ups on the ground, hey, go ahead and get yourself an elevated surface. I got my plyo box here. And I'm going to push up. After I get to the top, touch, touch, and then I'll go right down to push-up. Let me slide this forward so I can show it to you from this angle. Push up, touch, touch. See how my body is nice and straight? Touch, touch. But again, I would much rather have you do that on an elevated surface than be on the ground doing what we call not real push-ups. Alternating lateral lunges. So I'm going to the side, side to side. So first things first, I'm going to take a big step out to the side. Big step. The bigger the step, the more muscles you get engaged. The more muscles I get engaged, the more effective the workouts are. Makes sense. So left foot out, big step. Now I'm on, my weight is shifted onto this side. Now all I'm doing to get down is I'm not concentrating on my knee. I'm concentrating on my butt. I'm gonna stick my butt out, go down as low as I can, let this leg rotate with however it needs to be comfortable, and then come back together in one smooth motion. Then, let me move over so you can see me better. I gotta go to this side. So, big step out, go as low as you can, sticking that butt out. Two things that I want you to remember, just like every other exercise. Chest puffed up, sticking your butt out, that's gonna keep a nice healthy back. So here we go, this is what it looks like from the side. So I got my chest puffed up, I'm gonna take a step towards you with my left, stick my butt out, and my back stays perfectly straight. Remember, you're alternating, you're going 10 on each side. Don't worry about getting super low, worry about chest up, butt out, keep your back straight, feel that nice stretch. Last one is we are back in push-up position, but before you groan, before you go, oh, we are not doing push-ups this time. We are doing what I call ski jumps. Have you ever seen Olympic ski moguls where they're kind of just feet together going like this? I don't know, I don't really do a lot of downhill skiing, but I've seen the sport, it's very cool. This one mimics how that looks to an extent. We're gonna be in push-up position, and with our feet together, we are going to hop our feet in, and our knees are gonna aim at our elbows. So I'm gonna jump at my left elbow, then I'm gonna return to push-up position, then I'm gonna jump at my right elbow and return. So this is what it looks like. Get a nice comfortable stance, keep your knees together as much as you can, jump in as far as you can, knees pointed at my elbows, jump back, jump in, jump back. Always returning. I don't care how far you jump in to challenge yourself, and then you return to push-up position. If you have to walk yourself back to push-up position, I don't even care about that. That's just the name of the game. So if you have to, and I'll show you this one more time because I've had some clients do this and it's perfectly fine. They get that jump in, but then they kind of walk themselves back to push-up position. Hey, I got no problem with that. That's still a lot of work. It's still a heck of an exercise. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna teach yourself what you can do now, and we're gonna know where you wanna go, where you wanna progress moving forward.